But they also have plenty of comfort on both of the maps that are being played here today. We hear the fan cheers coming out here supporting DRX.
Are you gonna do it?
Plenty of fans. They've already done it.
Oh, I missed it. Well, I mean, if anything, I think this is, again, one of those things where if you look at Haven and Split, DRX are undefeated on them, at least in Pacific, but, you know, it's also one of their strongest maps. It's going to be tough for RRQ, to say the least.
Yeah.
But if anything, perhaps Split will be that difference maker. Here on Haven, though, we've seen how crazy DRX can be. There was an 11-1 first half last week against Gen G.
Yeah, he was very dominant. Gen G able to rally back a bit, make that into a, I believe, 13-7 scoreline at the end of it all. But for now, very quiet.
Started out.
They are now going to start pushing forward. Flash not going to confirm anything. Dart goes into the backside. Does get the ping reveal here on the Foxy 9. Actually takes the dash over the side. Has covering fire. The peel for Buzz. Swing around onto the flank. We'll have to see if it happens. But for now, Buzz swinging out onto the site. Pharaoh going to be good for one. Foxy finding a second. Stacks and Mako as well getting involved. And it's going to be Stacks finishing the job. Just Buzz taken down as DRX will go ahead and get the first pistol round for themselves.
That happened a lot quicker than I expected, Achilles. I mean, we start things off with an interesting approach. We had the flashes, we had the right calls. We blinded DRX. They actually did manage to get on top of the box, but as soon as the cloud burst dissipated, as soon as a lot of the players kind of recovered themselves, you can see that RRQ didn't quite follow through on the execute. They were a little bit slow to push out of C-Long, and DRX were able to take them down one by one, bit by bit, especially up by logs.
I was curious to see how that was going to go, just because right now in Pacific, DRX's pistol round wins on this map haven't been great. They're 1-3, now 2-3.
Oh,
after taking that one away. But I mean, you were kind of talking about it, how strong they've been on this map. They haven't lost on Haven since the lower final versus Optic at Champions last year. So it's been a good long while, and we've seen it from them 7 times between then and now.
And you know what else? It's always the same classic agent composition. You never change it up.
Yeah.
On the other side, RRQ, you know, Astra instead of Yeoman, I don't know how useful it's going to be, but you're going to have to try your darndest. You're already eating a shock dart, and then there's the spray.
Blind spray through, that's EJ gone, so a lot of your entry power now eliminated. Flip shutter as well, tagged down to 47 from that previous shock dart. An immense amount of value found from RB right off the rip here. Stacks anticipating a recon perhaps, but looks like it's going to be a shift over towards A as Foxy does get tagged. Not going to dissipate. No, the shot not quite going to connect.
Does tag 2G a little, but not to worry.
That was the dart earlier.
All right.
30 seconds left.
It's going to be the push in through B all of a sudden, and Stacks has their number.
One enemy remaining.
Allowing Mako to get it. Okay, well,
Spike
we
down,
will avoid a
mid.
flawless. Mako going to be good for a third. We go ahead and close it out with a 2-0 beginning here for DRX.
It's really simple, easy, clean takes from DRX.
Just good artist Valorant.
Yes, just good, honest. I mean, that's kind of what they were talking about on the desk as well. It's good, it's honest, it's kind of almost tactically perfect. It's so hard to find these mistakes because they're spread out across the map. They have clear map control. They have clear protocols to kind of just relay off of each other if need be. And at the same time, everyone has that individual fragging potential. RRQ needs so much just to take one side away.
Homegrown, grass-fed, non-GMO, MSG filled Valorant.
That's right.
And now we go into the buy round here for RRQ. See what they can manage for now. Just contact up in the garage, the turret. Needs to be cleared. Okay, finally get it there. Not too much damage, just 7 taken there from EJ. Still plenty to work with, but again, it's RQ slowing things down the early rounds, just trying to deny some of this util away from DRX.
Yes, and that's what you need. Taking off a turret really helps you buy a little bit more map control, maybe sell a bit of a fake, and you're just trading utility, trading positions. I don't know how DRX reacts off of this, though. I mean, Foxy's not deterred.
Star comes up, they're trying to get him across. Elmar jumping up onto the box may have just saved him. Foxy gonna still stick around and wanted to re-peek. Wisely ends up backing away, but the stun does connect. Dart now into backside. Ping comes across, EJ spotted, RB able to spray him down, gets the tink across onto Xparrow as well, putting him at 46. Now we'll rotate up to heaven, try to get ready for some shock darts here to dissuade the spike plant.
30 seconds left.
Listening for it.
They're planning underneath. Dart goes down, Flips not getting too much damage there. So Widely is going to be feeling okay. Drone now over the top. They spawn him. Here's the drop out of heaven.
Wow.
Trying going to be taken out, but 2 kills going to be traded back. Sparrow and Elmi Moore finding them. RB getting a second as well. Now it's just Stacks with 7 HP and a Sheriff and a Dream. See if he can try to convert this bonus, but Nick Sparrow maybe could get that elimination. He sat back. Elmi Moore leading the charge, gets the headshot just through the corner of the wall. And RRQ will get themselves on the board, albeit in a fairly costly round. 3 weapons left on the ground.
I mean, it was such an interesting way that DRX defended the site. You see those plays from Foxy, and he's just getting information for the team. Of course, maybe a tag, a kill would have been good. But when it comes down to it, it's EJ dashing in, and they instantly notice Spring inside of that Cloudburst. At the same time, you talked about it, setting up for the shock darts to deny the spike plant, the way that they waterfall down off of the window. It's all set up perfectly, even with the paranoia from Mako. Just comes down to it, RRQ had more firepower, and they knew how to hold around short, around long.
Dart the scout long off the rip, gravity well as well. Going to be invested, trying to get a catch here onto RB. Now sad back, the drone starting to push forward. Turns away and just sprays through. The Cloudburst comes down. Fantastic game sense, the jiggle peek as well. Spotting out on a few, sends a shock dart their way. We'll send another one. Look better. Nimble on his feet, able to avoid the damage. As Xfero grabs the orb, and now he does have a Hunter's Fury available.
That could be useful. Clear on delay, some pushes, if anything. You have a minute left to work with Elmi Moore.
Oh boy. I mean, he's being watched by 2 different players. Stacks and Mako both have this little crossfire set up towards short. Wouldn't be a hard adjustment for Mako to make. In the meantime, Elmi Moore sticking around, going to try to get some value off this lurk. The rest of the team shifting towards C where Buzz is waiting. Jiggling on that corner in a moment. Should know that this is going to be the place that they want the spike to reside, but no, it's just going to be the fault line. And as Elmi Moore, he was creeping in, giving them info. I think they've left A, so they're trying to cut back, but now they have to turn into B.
Yeah, wanted to cut them off on a rotation. It's not going to happen, so B is the best site to hit, but Foxy's here with the operator.
Doesn't know how deep in they might be. Just catches the cloak of 2GE. Not enough for the kill quite just yet. Sparrow watching that angle. Foxy not looking to overstep. After shock will buy some time. Foxy taken down. The operator lost.
Watching here.
The flash to allow RB to push in now.
Brings it a bit closer. Turn from the flash. 2GE lines him up. Finds RB. Mako going to be taken down as well. Stack's able to get one, but then ends up falling. It's all on Buzz now to try to get this clutch. The Hunter's Fury, however, is available, but it's not going to be necessary. 2GE with 3 kills will go ahead and tie things up at 2-2.
Fantastic recovery from RRQ. I mean, they knew that they were kind of discouraged from certain sites, especially C at the initial start of it. So they just make the quick adaptation to go straight to the B site, holding it from back, holding it from mid instead. Kind of threw DRX off a little bit. Eliminating Foxy 9 was so crucial in that moment. And then when it comes down to the 1-on-2 from Buzz, hiding in the little corner just meant that Buzz was going to have a tougher time clearing, especially since he was so afraid of the shot possibly coming from the back.
Yeah, and without having to invest anything, ult economy right now for the side of RRQ is looking very strong. Given that they find themselves now against an ecoing DRX, they might not have to invest any here.
Talking about ult cycles, we're holding on to ours. I do wonder what DRX has cooked up for this, though. You can never count them out in these ecos. Looking at how they've positioned themselves, long range, long sight lines. They were wanting that information. It does look like RRQ is going to commit to this.
Jay dashing forward, but not up onto the platform. So going to push around the back. Sparrow in the meantime finding one. Mako able to line up the headshot, has to pull back into a safer position. Wants to TP back up top again, but they should get word of this, but no, it takes him a while to realize, but he runs out of bullets, and 2GE is able to find the kill in the end. Pushes the corner. Sparrow gets RB, and now with just the shorty remaining, we'll see if Foxy 9 can find any value. Still does hold on to the tailwind, but it's got so many angles to try to clear out.
Wow.
Just feels not impossible to be able to get anything else done here.
Not quite.
Uh-oh. Good game sense.
Just a check. I mean, it's not, yeah, it is game sense, and it's also just reading your opponent's patterns. We know that DRX, we know, I mean, we saw it with Meteor as well. Always hiding inside of these smokes, always using shorties. Sometimes you start to read to it, and at the same time, you notice the spike plant coming in from Elmi Moore. That was the ult point gotten now. They've got 4 ultimates to work with. DRX surely could make it an explosive round, but let's see how it turns around. Foxy9 does have the operator in hand as well.
That he does. 3 ults versus the near 5 as EJ's just one off the blades with the Phantom in hand. Shouldn't require that at all. It's Foxy postured up on top of the brick stack here. The drone will reveal. Does get pinged. Not enough to force him out. Just go ahead and bounce his way across the opposite side of that smoke. Still on that Nebula. I'm not sure if they read that EJ would have gotten tucked away in sewer.
He's hiding there, but the question is, how does DRX position themselves around it? How does the opening pick go? DRX surely fall back bit by bit, bound by bound, and that's their style. RRQ find these tiny bits of space and maybe microaggressions to push into sites like how they're going to be right now.
Get in here, but then Foxy sets up the crossfire, rotating back through the link. 2GE assessing where he wants to place these stars. Gonna be one at link, one at heaven. Entry now. EJ gets himself into the site.
Okay.
Dart at the ready. RB just waiting to hear that spike start to get planted. Quite read the angle correctly. Bit of an off one there. Widely, Sphero able to avoid damage. Buzz able to find one, however. That lurk now shut down.
Great angle though, rolling thunder through. They're gonna push off of this.
Oh, Mako. He just puts some damage back, but eventually ends up falling. RB cutting down EJ. The push. Oh, it's the reload. Timing from Xpero. Gets caught after killing off Buzz. And that is going to be DRX getting themselves back into this. They'll wait for Foxy to rotate back over, grab the AWP, and then finish the defuse.
A lovely little approach from RRQ to just explore all facets of the map. I love what you're talking about, Achilles, with putting EJ down, up by A short. It's kind of like playing chess, if you will. You know, set some pieces up. EJ's that bishop that has that long sight line, and at the right time, once you have your pieces going in for trades, EJ goes in to take the site. And it's often little things like that that pull Foxy9 away from A. At the same time, though, the Rolling Thunder, while it was a good idea, didn't quite really push DRX off. They just dropped out off of heaven. They were still able to retake, and that's the one thing that you got to consider.
Well, Rolling Thunder, obviously high value, but they still do have a lockdown.
A lot of ultimates.
Yeah, RB can contend with that one with his own Hunter's Fury. Stuns go across. Buzz just backs away from the garage. Clear on the turret. Buzz showing the gun barrel for a brief little moment there. Tries to throw down that nano. At least cuts off some of the reinforcements and getting themselves into the site. Xpero now going to be taken out. Mako backside finds the second. Easily set up from the Rolling Thunder. There's a third.
Down, C.
Just for the reload. It's not going to be an ace. RB will be able to find one. Mako could make it a fourth. Identifies where he's at. Does he try to greed for the play? Seems like the answer is going to be no. Stalwart as ever. Mako just waiting. Try to draw Elmimore into the site. Never mind. He just picks the nice timing when Elmimore's not looking at him, and he will be able to get that fourth kill in the end and a fourth round for DRX.
Too darn good. You can't really rush against DRX. Even with the full eyes, even with these risky, almost seemingly hard to read plays, EJ dashed into it, but the Rolling Thunder just delivered him into Mako's loving arms. And of course, the final frag going his way as well. It's just so darn tough. These C-split executes haven't quite been working out for RRQ, hence the timeout. 4-3 right now, and the only rounds that have been somewhat successful are the A takes, the site hits where you start to try to force out some imperfections in DRX's seemingly perfect defense.
Still though, now with the brakes pumped a little bit, RRQ going to look to course correct, get themselves back into this. Sign, of course, shouting out Mako as the GOAT. And it's hard to disagree, just given the performances that we've seen from him in Pacific as well as outside of it.
Round
Vamos
7.
for Foxy9 as well.
Mexico. I mean, we know that you love to shout Vamos. This round 7, Mako's already getting a 4K. And still sitting on so many ultimates. Both sides being somewhat conservative with these. Just trying to find the perfect moment. Trying to find a way to make these ultimates, make these rounds count.
Let us hunt.
It's already not that one-sided of the first half.
Things can spiral quickly, which is why RRQ desperately going to be looking to win this round, but
Oh, Foxy.
have bought down a bit. Yeah, Elmi Moore going to get picked off. Still hold on to the 2 rifles.
Well,
But, oh, Buzz, has he noticed it? I think he may have.
no.
Maybe not. Oh, okay. Instead, it's going to be X-Pharaoh. Noticing Buzz just a little bit sooner.
Okay.
Mako.
Oh.
Okay. I was going to say Mako now, you know, reading. He's trying to set up for this defensive smoke to cut off C long, but still gets caught. X-Pharaoh breaking things open. Now the spike getting brought forward into the site. EJ able to answer back and maintain this man advantage. Not much health to speak of, but EJ jumps the box and the right click takes down Stacks. What a play from him with just now 6 HP remaining. Puts Foxy 9 in a dire situation.
He does have blades, though, Achilleos.
He's got the blades and he's got money to buy another
I don't think he's
operator,
got
but
time.
it seems like he doesn't want to play for it.
Take maybe a little bit too long, a little bit too much noise to rotate all the way across the map. And given how RRQ are already positioned inside a garage, yeah, maybe it is a bit of tall order for Foxy, even Foxy 9, to win out this 1-on-3. Just not the right circumstances. But at the same time, I mean, consider how this round went RRQ's way. We started off with X-Pharaoh. I mean,
Yeah.
sneaking through garage. You might have expected Mako to turn around at the right time, given how Buzz lost his life. But this is these tiny microaggressions, tiny spaces and gaps that RRQ might just be able to slip through. At the same time, though, you can never leave Foxy 9 unchecked. I think that's painful.
Yeah, I mean, a good way to start things off, but in the end, EJ with these blades and 6 HP just fiercely jumping the box and nailing the right click. Fantastic to see to keep them in this one and tie it up yet again. Thrifty to pull off against DRX, always, you know, I'd say a reason for celebration.
Is tied up the score, and now we go back to a C execute. Oh boy.
For the pass hit once more. Field goes out, they spot Elmi Moore, but Buzz is not ready. His weapon is undrawn, and Foxy takes out one before the Hunter's Fury claims his life.
Stacks still on site, though.
Oh, the spray through. He stops the plant for now. Might realize that, yeah, he was hitting his target there. Mako with the crossfire, saves him, finds another.
Spike down.
Flip try to get taken out. Mako again holding things
Come
down
on.
from the back line, and Stacks will get Elmi Moore at the end.
Unbelievable.
Dynamic duo holding it down, but still, I will say RRQ pressing DRX and taking kills in ways that you might not have anticipated coming into this.
Yeah. We look at how these rounds are going. Sometimes RRQ tries to play with the pacing. It's a sudden C rush that perhaps Buzz or the rest of them weren't quite expecting. Foxy 9 had the operator, but was just completely discouraged from holding any angle because of the fault lines, because of the Hunter's Fury being thrown in the mix. At the same time, though, it's just Stacks. They thought the smoke meant that they were safe enough to plant, but Stacks managed to set himself up as a turret up by plant. Cosmic Divine now. Okay.
Gets invested. Foxy, I mean, swinging into a position where he might actually peek this one, but smoke is there, and Buzz just going to get sprayed down, and adds a slip shider. The Bulldog through the smoke. In this whole time, they're rotating themselves into A. RB obviously going to be hearing this now. Mako TP's across to get himself up into heaven. Flip shider, or Elmi Moore rather. Ready for it. 2G as well going to fall. Mako now arriving. Drops out of it, finds one. Spring Stacks into a 1v2, trying to utilize this cloud burst against EJ. So far, it's working. Sees the spike get picked up. EJ, knowing that Stacks is going to be here, just pushes out. Flips, rotates over, and Flip Shredder is in this lurk spot, waiting in the link. Question is, can Stacks win out on the fight? He's not even going to take it.
Wait, we're going to be Achilleos.
They are, but he could just play this from the single link side. Looks like he's going to end up doing that.
Spike planted.
Not to his knowledge, but this is Stacks making the right call.
Stacks has a full kit of utility. He's got one flash to work with.
Can he read their positions? They're both stacked up in here. The backside spots one. Now does it both there, but it's far too late. He has overstepped, and Flipshider finds the elimination. A weapon upgrade from him as well. As RRQ just trading round after round, keeping us tied up at 5-5.
Not the half I was expecting, but a welcome one indeed. I mean, RRQ, we've seen how they position themselves backside. I think Stax was trying to use the element of surprise, but this time just kind of surprised on his own instead, having 2 players to work against. And it's just so smart for EJ to actually pick up the spike and go back to B that way. Start things off by breaking the doors, discouraging any peeks. DRX hasn't really gone on the aggressive so far. Except for now, perhaps. Foxy, Frenzy, pushed up. The drone coming to check, though. Oh, but it's been shot by the Sheriff.
Fault line out. Foxy has to dash back. Keep himself protected. Start fanning their way up here into a long. Dark to check close. Not going to find any damage there. Foxy with a frenzy, just looking to stay tucked in sewer, but seems like RRQ likely suspecting that they might have drawn some attention over towards the A site, so instead they want to pivot.
Back towards B. They could make it fast, so it's an easy spike plant, but it's also a really tight one. You could try to hold it, but those stars are already in place for RRQ to
30 seconds left.
Wait.
Okay, they're pivoting again.
Again, yes.
Mako
still has some paranoia. Oh, okay.
He holds it for now. Thinks about throwing it, but by this point, it's far too late. They're already in the site. Mako managing to find one, but it seems like that's about as good as it's going to get. Foxy 9, okay, gets a headshot. The weapon in such a bad spot for him to try to retrieve it. Expecting this push out. Footsteps heard. Weapon retrieved. The headshot on the 2GE. He brings it now to a 1v2. 65 HP remaining. Spots another. Tailwind over to the side. And he can't line up Elmimore. He shuts him down, and RRQ will lock in a 6th round win.
Elmimore just stops.
Last round in the
a
half.
Slight centimeter right before Foxy's crosshairs. And you see how many pivots, how many rotations there were in this attacking half. I mean, attacking side from RRQ even. In that round, maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's how we force DRX to make these tiny gaps, these tiny mistakes. It's just like going back and forth so much that DRX kind of gets confused themselves. And in those rotations, RRQ will find out some of these members one by one, bit by bit.
Foxy again, up in hand, swings out, finds one. Flip Shatter going to be taken down, pulls the blades. EJ matching, rushing, looking for the kill, puts him down onto RP. Has managed to find that elimination in the end, but it's going to be traded out. Foxy getting one, Elmimore shutting him down. Lockdown, invested now. As they get themselves the spike plant. A 3v3, Buzz has a counter lockdown available once he can get into position.
Oh, he's going to use that.
He's got to final round. Use it if you got it.
And then they'll be discouraged to hold these angles. How many spots do you have? Elmimore, I don't even know if he can peek out to take him down as they push in.
Have a smoke available. The aftershock to try to flush it. Sparrow out. Stacks. He does just that. Finds the kill. Nano Swarm's now burned. They get themselves in onto the spike, the gravity well. Takes them off the defuse. Stacks out into the open. Now going to be vulnerable. Flash through. Swings out. Finds one. Can't quite get that transition, but the defuse can be held. And Mako will just finish it. Elmimore gets a 4K, but it's not the round win, so we end up at a 6-6 score line. Perfectly evened up.
So close. But such an incredible exchange from both teams. Again, just talking about it, RRQ plays with the pacing of things. They start to rush back into A. Definitely surprising some players from DRX's side. But at the same time, as soon as the spike goes down, you were talking about it, those lockdowns became so important for DRX in this retake. 6-6 though.
I mean, this is not a scoreline you see often at all on Haven. And in fact, I mean, if you take a look back, they haven't had a 6-6 half start on Haven since they played against Team Secret at the Daejeon Invitational, so an off-season event. Everything since then, 13-8, or, you know, a 8-4 versus Talon, 11-1 versus BBL, 9-3 to C9, 7-5 to Global, and then 11-1 to Gen G. So this is the most that they've been pushed on Haven in a good long while.
Certainly is challenging. I think RRQ are showing us that They have some things prepared. They have some ideas in mind. And it's especially with these mid-round pivots that are really staying in my head. I mean, it's kind of like that Friends episode with Ross, huh? Pivot!
Pivot. Trying to move the couch in. But I will say, the caveat to everything I just said is that most of those maps, they start on the attacking side.
That's right.
And they do have a slightly higher win percentage on attack compared to their defense, 65 compared to 60. So RRQ looking very well geared here to contend with DRX on their own attack. The question is, do they have that same preparation for the defense? Can they shut this down? If they can, they are in a fantastic spot to potentially steal away an old-time great map for DRX.
Potentially. Maybe we do take a look at statistics from RRQ. Defending side on Haven, so far in Pacific at least, they've done pretty well. 24 round wins over 12. It is not impossible. It all starts with this one round to find that momentum that they need to carry them forward. But then again, I mean, this is what we're talking about. Haven is such a different map. We've got 3 sites. You could be the ones to pivot and rotate around on your attacking half, but DRX could do the same thing. We know how perfect Valorant, how DRX plays perfect Valorant. I don't know if RQ plays that same way on defense.
Sparrow reading the lineup, knows exactly where that Nano Swarm is going to go. Dark clear is close, Foxy going to be diving in deep. So far the pressure coming out of Swords not found. RB delaying for a bit, but they should know that there's still going to be somebody potentially in this spot. Foxy Knight, however, able to find first blood, was going to be taken down. Darts in through. RB looking to set up that crossfire. Foxy going to be good for a third before he's finally taken out of the fight, but with Sparrow at 48, it's going to prove to be a very challenging retake. Be on the jiggle peak, puts him down to 33. Zach's swinging here alongside him. Darts at the ready for the lineup. Push out again from Sparrow, just looking to challenge, looking to keep him contained. They're going to go for the double push now, but RB's able to stabilize it. Finds one, can't quite get the second, but with 7 HP. And the delay tactics coming through. Seems like a nigh impossible task, and it is. DRX will go ahead and take away another pistol round win.
That's the key word, delay tactics. Again, tactical, perfect Valorant. And that's how DRX plays it. Instantly start things off, they already have the sight. I think Sparrow was the only one who could have done something. I mean, it's covered up by the Nebula, but at the same time, it's just so smart for DRX to send Foxy, as well as a couple more utilities, just to make them feel uncomfortable on the side itself. Even once the retake comes in, DRX were already positioned up by short and long, just to delay, just keep delaying.
Weapons now in. RRQ. It's a single sheriff there from Elmi Moore, which you don't mind seeing at all if you've been paying attention to RRQ. You know how dangerous this guy can be with this weapon. See him pushing forward. Mako reading this push coming out of A long. Buzz now looking to swoop in and get the punish before they can make it out to safety. Has to clear too many angles so they don't get too much extra damage in.
You can hear the footsteps as well. Here comes the collapse.
EJ dead. Buzz, a quick shot on the corner turn. Finishes off Sparrow.
I just want to see how flawless this round's going to be.
I mean, yeah. What are you going to do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Flip's having to push forward. Otherwise, the Nano Swarm is going to force him out the opposite side. Thrown tag onto Elmi Moore. And from here, it seems like for RQ, it should just be the decision to sit back and wait for the spike.
So that we don't give away any
no shot. No way. Foxy, what in the hell are you doing, son? Say that's, if nothing else, he is not lacking confidence.
Sure.
But a bit silly in the end, donating a weapon over. Well, not donating a weapon over, but donating it to the spike explosion. And DRX will go ahead and close out the anti-eco round in what would have been flawless fashion.
Still, I mean, apart from some antics or acrobatics, again, classic Valorant. DRX just goes in, takes the site, And RRQ couldn't really rotate quick enough, and they were never sure if DRX leaves someone on the lurk. Back in the next round, DRX is able to buy up slightly. RRQ with the full buys instead. They're trying to go on the offensive now.
We have this Guardian from Elmore. Set in the garage for the time being. EJ, again, just trying to pressure here in the sewer. Ooh. Spotting RB, but just can't quite get those shots through.
Difficult, and at the same time, setting ourselves up. DRX anticipating a bit of a push. Flips is trapped into the corner.
Mako trying to fake the TP out. Flips still just
no peeks.
Sat here.
No peeks. No peeks.
DRX are perfectly aware of his position. I'm kind of surprised that we don't see them go for the aftershock. Instead, it's going to be the push, and Mako with the Spectre will win it out as Flips was desperately trying to drag his crosshair down. Foxy now entering. Dart goes across. The stun hits. Sparrow still somewhat dazed. Pushes out, gets the headshot in. Stinger sprays. Cannot control it. Stacks into falling. EJ with 2. Spike on the floor. RB noted, and EJ, while still hovering, will find himself a 3rd kill with the classic. Only 2 weapons lost here from the side of RRQ. DRX can't convert that bonus into a win.
Not too shabby. This is what you expect from the bonus round.
Should I play some
RRQ played it to perfection at the same time. I mean, you have these 2 players, EJ, as well as I believe it was, is it Elmore? 2 players on the side itself. You plant your foot firmly down. And just make sure, no, it's Xfero, excuse me. You make sure that you're not going to be revealed. You're not going to be pressured by whatever DRX throws at you. I was kind of surprised by how Mako's able to easily walk up long, take Flips down. But as soon as they made it their way onto site, it's that information that RRQ gains. They know how to react off of it and just to play around the box on the site itself. 8-7 now. And this is a timeout off of a win. We want to maintain this one lead, this one round that we've won.
Yeah. Let's see. The VWalk strategy going into the next one is going to allow them to tie us up yet again, or DRX can break away a little bit, but so far, I think everybody feeling quite pleasantly surprised with the performance here from RRQ. Pushing them to the limit.
And again, I think it comes down to some of these players, Elmore, Xfero, they're able to really make the right calls, make the right plays, given the positions that they have. The pieces of utility that they throw against DRX at times also helps them chain some wins together.
Still wait for the barriers to drop. DRX again looking to show some early pressure over towards A, while RB will just send a shock over to B. Clear out some of that KJ util. But I think he might have missed.
Just being a little bit careful still. Now DRX exploring garage side, a star instantly placed. Might be able to eat out a bit of information or set up for some kind of a retake. Does look like RRQ just completely gives up the site.
Oh, Hunter's Fury. Stacks getting caught by the first blast.
One more boom.
Third one, not going to get that connection though. And tags Buzz and Stacks both down to 70. Now it's going to be the full 5v5 retake. No real ults to speak of on either side.
It's already spent. Just gonna come into the retake. We need that utility to support this.
Fox getting pinged. Mako blind the backside. Xfero able to find the kill. Now Buzz gonna be taken down as well as Elmore entries, finds 2 for his trouble. Suddenly, just Stacks and RB left standing. The shock dart's flying through. Spam will get 2.
Take flight.
But there's still so much more to work with. Dark across the side. Stacks ending up falling, and so does RB. The timeout works a treat. RRQ will get the defuse, and they will tie us up at 8-8.
Good call from Coach Ewok, if anything. And it just so happens that they coordinated that retake perfectly. You know, we talked about it, we saw and we heard those footsteps as they approached the C site. We might have lost some players in the process, but completely evacuating it allowed them to set up for this, where they push out of garage, push out from defender spawn at the same time, just completely catching DRX off guard. You might have 2 players remaining on towards the backside of C long, but Stacks unable to deal against 2 players rushing him down.
Does not have that rolling thunder, but have to be a fantastic start. Maybe a really swift and early plan for them to want to commit that here into the Thrifty round. Foxy 9 just going to be landing up on top of Fox here in the B site. Nanoswarms go out. Stack's going to be slowed up for the time being, but they have control of the sites. The plant will come through all the same. Aftershock to try to clear, but they planted left side rather than right. Oh, the push. Flipshider just still lurking. RB completely caught unawares.
A little exploration mission, but still onto
turret.
the site itself. Look at how DRX comes back around on this.
I mean, they're out of range, so they might not know that this flank is going to be coming through, and so far no one is really turning to read this. Foxy continuing to inch forward, but he completely beefs it! Has to swap over to the short, he still would be good for one, but that should have been so much more. Flipshider getting that elimination, now suddenly it stacks, and the Rolling Thunder is in fact committed. This has cost DRX so much more than they may have anticipated.
My ultimate is ready.
As RRQ will take the lead now 9-8.
Things are heating up, Achilleos. How on earth did that happen? Just completely giving them the site. It's the right call at times, but at the same moment, Foxy9 trying to wrap around, being that close with the Blade Storm, an uncharacteristic miss. And RRQ with the guns just had their way with the retake.
Yeah.
On to the next round, and we get to buy up again. RB has the Hunter here, but Elmimore has a lockdown.
And weapons back in their hands.
Blocking sight. Blocking sight.
Again, looking like a fairly fast hit. Elmimore spotting this one will be noted. Buzz trying to spray him down, but a little bit of damage in. That's about it. Otherwise, Elmimore life intact. Go ahead and get set up for the lockdown in garage.
Initiated.
Does so. RB.
Nowhere to run!
Spawn will now go ahead. Open up with this Hunter's Fury.
Oh,
Destruction still not coming through yet. Paranoia across. Now, lockdown does get destroyed. Mako found those. He tries to go for a really short hop TP, and Stack's going to be taken down, so RB now needs to contend with Flipshider on that flank. The flash goes across. He's completely blinded. Flipshider eventually finds the kill. Foxy9 going to be taken out, and suddenly it's all on Buzz. Do they read his position?
They don't know.
So far the answer is no, but now they know exactly where he's at. Gets the headshot, turns from the flash, but Flipshider finishes him off. The third kill comes through to defuses in, and RRQ now lead by 2.
It's not just a lead as well. It's 4 rounds in a row, Achilleos. They've won it.
They'll know what.
First team to reach double digits. And just maybe dampening DRX's economy a little bit more. Coming back into these rounds, these retakes. I mean, you have DRX just rushing in, pushing them off. But somehow, RRQ are actually finding the coordination it takes just to wrap them around. I mean, Buzz also kind of tries to go for an interesting approach of making a big old flank. He does turn into a one-on-one, but the numbers just do not favor him in that moment.
No, they do not. It was a good effort by him.
Hermes not happy.
Yeah, Flipshider with the better flank in the end of it all, breaking open that C-long position and then able to finish the job. And Termi will, in fact, use the first timeout for DRX. You know, oftentimes we do see Termi, he'll trust in the team to be able to course correct themselves. He knows how much experience they have on stages larger than this one. But once it starts getting away from them like this, and RRQ are very closely approaching, stealing the map away, that's when Termi decides to intervene because it hasn't been working out. It's a new version of the wave. You slap each other down a line.
We have fun crowds here in Korea. But still, I think it's RRQ actually doing such a good job. Now they have the coordination just to retake, the coordination to defend at times. If DRX wants to force the site take, let's just let them have it. So far, it's been working in Treat.
Okay.
Spike down.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to see that POV. I'm going to have to see this man's POV!
Flawless.
As the two veterans on RRQ deliver such a swift victory in the round. Run it back. What else? I mean,
Let's see the replay.
I mean,
It's just
hot damn.
hot damn indeed. It was a bit of a half buy coming in from DRX.
He just
trying to
rushes.
rush in.
He just rushes and kills 3 people. And in the meantime, Xvero catches Foxy going into the smoke, finds Mako within it already. It's a flawless round. The economy built up. RRQ, they are good to go. The very end here.
Oh, now it's just C-Rush.
Yeah, they're looking for it once more. The dash forward. 2G situated. Mako should be reading this, but he does not. 2G manages to find 2 kills before finally falling. Flip shutter with the third. Buzz again alive. Finds the kill. The Hunter's Fury online for Xpharaoh in case the lockdown comes through. First will be droning from the defending side. The operator, EJ, swinging on the corner. RB not reading it whatsoever. And once again, it's Buzz on his lonesome, and he's been identified. The ping's coming down. Xpharaoh looking to pressure him out. Buzz not sure which way to look. And RRQ are now just 1 round away from taking DRX's map pick of Haven for the first time in 2023.
This is their map pick! Achilleos! What is happening here?
It's been old faithful for DRX since time memoriam, since Valorant effectively came out, since DRX and Vision Strikers came onto the scene in Korea. This has been such a strong one for them, but RRQ, it seems, have meticulously studied them, and right now, frankly, are out-aiming them, out-gunning them at every twist and turn.
Especially on these retakes,
And it's
even
a
with a sight hit.
back. I think
That's a back
just about a back-to-back. I mean, he calls it once in front of the Thrifty, the attempt at the eco, I should say. It doesn't work out. They go into the buy round. It doesn't work out. This is as close to a back-to-back timeout as I've ever seen from DRX. Only 2 rounds separated.
Something is happening. How? That's not the classic DRX take that we used to see. I mean, we did have that cloud burst. We did have Mako TPing out towards the back of the top of the platform, but when you have RRQ players just positioned on there like that, you would expect DRX to be able to suss them out. Somehow, they went left unchecked. Mako turned but couldn't find the frag. RRQ actually took them down instead. At the same time, onto that Thrifty, it was just a big old rush, somewhat of a default push, a default A take for DRX, and RRQ read that to perfection. 1 round away from closing this map out.
And the ults are fairly evened up, but I think looking at it, you absolutely favor RRQ in this position. They have the Rolling Thunder, they have the Hunter's Fury to counteract the lockdown from Buzz. DRX is going to have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this round if they want to hope of taking this into overtime.
Oh my gosh, for the first time, they're actually holding this default, just waiting for a push from RRQ. Now slowly trying to find bits of utility, find little gaps in RRQ's defenses, but RRQ are not moving at all. They know they have the rounds. They know they have the numbers.
Thrown up close, but a little bit delayed. Doesn't get the tag onto EJ, who will then clear it out and says, yeah, I've got an operator. I wouldn't recommend pushing me.
That's definitely not going to explore A anymore after this. We're just going to go for that B hit. Only Mako, as well as Foxy up on top.
Drop down should be heard. Only more identifying that somebody's going to be in backside.
Rolling Thunder.
Cuts across. Gets the stun. The shorty is drawn out, but doesn't get that much damage through. Spike as well. Not planted. Not even on the side for the moment. TP over to see Long from Mako. He was out in the open, actually. Push on the corner. Mako, that counter swing does find flip shot, and now 2GE going to be taken down. A 3v4. It wasn't Mako. 86 HP between the two of them. Now Stacks joining them. The shock dart tagging him to 50. Tries to make it into the cubby fast enough, but it's not going to happen.
Oh my
RP
god!
taken down. Elmimore pulling it off. Now just 2 versus 3. Healthy members.
Push in.
Nanoswarm buys some time. The push comes in. A little delay there from Xpharaoh. Elmimore, however, finding a third. They're holding forward, and Elmimore holds the angle. Gets the 4th kill. And I cannot believe it. RRQ. What we saw from them versus Genji on Fracture, that map that they lost, it felt like the disjointedness of the double duelist wasn't great. Granted, that was also, you know, RB playing the Neon, so it's a little bit different. But I'm curious to see how drilled this looks now. DRX are going to be starting off here on the defending side. Close contact as the Trailblazer goes in. Foxy trying to play off it, but Elmimore swings up the stun and finds the first blood.
I mean, they picked this for a reason. They picked this map. They have this composition, but right off the rip, it already is RRQ finding that first pick, and now slowly adjusting, delivering the spike back towards mid. And we've seen this look from RRQ already.
Only being watched right now mid by Buzz. rotating back over towards the male side of things. Push-up camera going to be cleared as Mako trying to swing out.
Wow.
A little bit of damage down to the EJ. Otherwise, Emin coming up with a kill. Stacks now trying to go on the flank, get in behind them, cut them off. Only more still hovering nearby. Hasn't dropped down until just now. Starts working his way back, just keeping things nice and quiet. Paint shells in the meantime do come through. A little delay. Stacks, the timing. He's going to start rushing. It's being watched. That's going to be the spike down.
Spike down. Mid.
Big pickup as well. Now Stacks trying to get a little bit more, but the man comes straight back in. They pick the spike back up and back to A.
30
And look
seconds
at
left.
Elmimore's position now. Gets himself up here in
Lord.
heaven. There's the rope. RB. A great reaction. Finds the kill. Buzz dropping down into the vent. Also going to be able to pick one up, so that does bring us now into a 2v2 with EJ down to 6 HP, but the spike is planted all the same.
Look at this position though. This is
One
quite the
enemy
one and done,
remaining.
but wow. A sudden peek and RB takes him out.
It's damage on both. With this frenzy, with this tuck position just below heaven, Sparrow certainly could still pull this one out. It's a double approach now through screens. No util to really try to flush him out of this spot. The paint shells were already burned. Swing out. Okay, Buzz finds the timing, catches him, and DRX will be able to salvage yet another pistol round. 3-0 in that regard.
Impressive wiring.
Not too shabby. I mean, it's an interesting approach from RRQ
Love
again.
explosions.
Just going in for tiny little duels, tiny little fights as a three-man squad. We love to see this this way that they operate. Slowly going up ramp, and then holding up by rope, and then back to mail room. But in all of this, it's a little bit slow. There's a lot of time in between. Stacks comes up from behind. At the same time, you have Buzz, who's a little bit riled up from the previous map, and now he's going in for it. Finding that 2-on-1 scenario, DRX. Now the judge comes out, and Buzz. I don't know. We're going to see some blast packs.
Get off the rip, try to clear any early pressure in a garage. It's just going to be more pickup here for Emin, but quite a bit of damage pushed out. He can go ahead and heal Flipshider back up to full, but he's stuck at 34. Foxy spotting. Yeah, that shot comes your way. You know that Elmimore's behind the trigger. It breaks the line of sight.
Hold it up by that area. Now Mako trying to delay. Get further information over by mid. RQ slowly make their way up.
Oh boy.
I love
Push
the judge
begins.
moments.
They're wary though. They're stopped up, waiting in mail. Slow creep up, ready to come through. Fault line at the ready. There's one, there's two. Just cutting them in half. Spike does get retrieved. They need to further clear them out. Now they have to drop down into the vents and see if they can find any kills here.
Here are those robes. Mako goes in for the peek.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, and into the meat grinder they go. A flawless round here in the follow-up to a very close pistol. DRX, they get the ball rolling with a 2-0 start, but this is what we saw on Haven, and then it was RRQ who were able to steal some momentum away in the bonus rounds. Let's see if that happens once more now that they get some rifles in their hands.
I mean, I don't want to count DRX out just yet. It was a very coordinated RRQ towards the end of that Haven map, but still, on towards split, and this is a whole different ball game. You have the judge, and it's a very, very viable tool, especially up by a lot of these positions. Outside of garage, up by mid, especially up by mailroom, like you just saw, and especially up on ramp as well. Look at how Mako plays around this rope position. He loves to do this.
Yep. Waits it out. Boombot not going to get a spot. Buzz as well, just tucking out onto the rafters to try to avoid it. Creep up. And Trailblazer cleared, still showing at least presence of two members.
If RQ has done their homework, they should know, that Mako is up around that spot, and that's why they're trying to wallbang it. Even then, up by the ropes, and that's not really a spot that you can reach unless you have utility.
Oh, okay, decent timing. But EJ widely just tickled by that Spectre.
Trying to bait some rotations over, but DRX aren't really moving. We saw a lot of exchanges up by this one ramp area.
Here.
They're starting to pivot a little bit.
Lurking. Oh, pivoting back to B. If they can actually take RB down, I think then they would have the sight. Foxy's still up by heaven though.
Okay, Trailblazer comes out. He's going to use the gravity well instantly just to try to stop that dog from getting in.
30 seconds.
Spotted.
Ooh.
Oh, just the spray into that Nebula. Kill comes through, but Foxy able to find one. So Sparrow taken down.
Elmi Moore.
Paint shells the delay. They're still not into the site yet, but as you say, Elmi Moore approaching, getting himself moved up here into heaven. And Stacks misses the time they try to take him down, and Mako can't really reply. He's got that judge at range. The site cleared out. Stacks now the last man standing, tries to go for the drop shot, but EJ avoided the flash, gets the kill, and RRQ again on the board here in the third round.
It's against those pivots that work out so darn well. That said, it only is the third round. Trying to bait out those rotations. DRX didn't really have the range they were looking for with those Spectres, but still, it's that bit of a lurk from Elmi Moore. We've seen this guy so much. He was highlighted as the key player in the pre-match analysis, and he is stepping up to the plate.
Once more now. Operator and Rifles on the opposite side. This would be a major turning point here for RRQ if they could get the round win.
What?
Oh, he's right up close. I don't think they quite realize this. But now with Boombot going through, you should identify that somebody's gotten through defense. It needs to be noted.
Okay. Really have to think about this as a bit of a strategy game because we're moving around a lot of different pieces, and we've just sent one down up by ropes. We know that Mako's no longer here, and this is what RRQ was looking for. If they can actually pinch Buzz, they might be able to take down the A site. Stacks behind elbow, though.
There's the jiggle out.
On the side as well.
That will have seen Elmi Moore advancing forward, so the call comes in from Buzz, but Elmi Moore stops the strafe, gets the headshot. He's right back on the move. Stacks now dead in the backside as the neural theft goes across. Elmi Moore already building up another ult charge towards the next one. And with, I mean, three members alive, the operator, yeah, the call comes in, make the save. DRX going to be just perfectly allowing RRQ to flawlessly pick up this tied score line.
I just can't believe it. It's only the early game still, but the way that RRQ are approaching all of this, see so much utility being spent towards the middle. As soon as the barrier's dropped, EJ up close to Mako. And it just sends those signs of confusion to DRX. DRX trying to read it. They know it's not everything is as it seems, but they can't quite tell exactly what's about to happen. I think that's why Buzz kind of caught lacking, especially up by ramp. It's this little pincer maneuver up by rope as well as ramp from the RRQ squad, and then taking down Stacks. Works a treat, but moving on to the next round, we still have those three weapons that DRX saved up.
Still, though, not quite as pretty of a buy. Two Bulldogs.
Right.
Operator not even given the opportunity to find any sort of value in that last round, just never going near it. See if they fall into the trap this time, as there is a decently heavy stack here.
Yeah, DRX are switching up formation. Foxy up by mid could deny some kind of aggression.
Charging out. Here's the flashback entry, and oh boy, Foxy almost jumps right into EJ's lap, but Mako with a covering fire is able to find that pick.
So far, the key to RRQ's success is those microaggressions. This time around, DRX wins the first fight.
Mako just continuing to try to hold things down. Drop, top flash, finding nothing. Buzz as well, spraying out. Good amount of damage going across, and Buzz probably going to be surprised to find that he gets himself a second kill in that position. Sparrow pushing up, does find it, but this time Buzz a bit more snappier as far as the aim is concerned. Catches Xfaro in the head, now Elmi Moore, the last man standing. Spike control, however, firmly in the grasp of DRX.
He has been a strong lurker, but what can you do on your own?
At this point, I mean, you've got money. Take as many guns out of the hands of DRX as you possibly can if you're Elmi Moore. Any kill is going to be value.
He's going to take the shortest route, and that's going to be straight into the arms of Stacks.
And there's the drop, and there's the spray. Buzz with a 4K in the round to get DRX back ahead. 3-2 though, still very close, and still some economy to work through if they want to be able to streak ahead on this defending side. RRQ already though, going to be calling the timeouts, and I do enjoy this proactivity here from Ewok.
Trying to catch things there early. We've already seen bits of success from RRQ. Let's see how we can push those ideas even further. So far, we know that RRQ, if mid is left unchecked, they can use it to sneak behind DRX through ropes, maybe a little bit of aggression towards mailroom. That can work. Apart from that, also, just little bits of duels towards ramp, towards A. They might be able to take some players down. At even times, we see Elmi Mori actually setting the camera up as a trap. If someone fires a shot, he gets that information about where someone could be. On to the next bit now. Question is, do you approach mid again? Or do you try to go for a rush this time? We know that DRX has an operator. That's a problem that we need to solve.
Well, they are fortunate to be able to hold on to it here for the last 2 rounds. Just continuing to stack up a decent amount of money there on the side of Foxy 9 at the very least. But still hasn't been the most involved in the kills. So Mako helping to bail him out in that last one. It's very much been, as far as DRX is concerned, the buzz show.
Right now it is, especially as Raze on this map, very,
Satchel out.
They're going to garage
very
rush.
effective.
Okay, not the full entry. Okay. Doesn't get himself on the box. Just to look to catch anybody unawares.
A little bit curious about that gravity. Well, nobody's there to check, so just to confirm that RB is up by B. Gonna head back towards the A site mid. Maybe a bit of lurk. Maybe a lurk from Flips.
I've got your trail.
We'll be delaying for now, but it's their aftershock to clear angles as well as their flashes for trying to get entry onto the site that's not there. And Foxy 9 finds him, can be costly, but shot goes across and Seekers fly through.
Oh.
Shutting out very well aware
Pivot.
of his position. Smoke dissipates and Foxy,
Pivot.
he is off on the shot. Trying to takes him down. Mako now arriving at just 1. Has to exit. Does take a tag there from the aftershock. At least crucially does find 1 kill. Now gets himself set up here in alley. Zach's looking to join.
Oh.
Shots across. Mako falling. Zach's taken down as well. Before the Cosmic Divide comes through. Now RP noted. Dealt with. And RRQ are set to tie us up again. Buzz at this point. I mean, money to play with, but no real reason to go for this one. You know that if you die to EJ to Elmi Moore, they're that much closer to being able to get this ult online, so he's just going to have to sit back and wait for the spike to go off. So we're once again going to be tied up.
As far away as possible from RRQ. That's where Buzz has to be. If we just break down these rounds again, I mean, these aren't fakes from RRQ. They're not. They actually try to approach bits of areas towards the site. Maybe at first towards A, a little bit towards mid. They left Flips on a bit of a lurk. And then just getting the information that, okay, this isn't really where we need to go or where we should go. Those Seekers were just a ruse. And then they rotate and pivot all the way back to the B site. I think Mako was starting to get a good grasp of it, a good read of it. He had the timing up by stairs just to take down 1 player. But after the Cosmic Divide comes in, RRQ, they take down this site, just like removing a block from this Jenga tower that is DRX.
Yes.
A tower that with every piece pulled out, is getting closer and closer to tumbling. 3-3 once again tied up, and obviously hasn't been quite as dominant. We've seen some nice attack side streaks on this map, but very much widely have been seeing the defender side have a stronger go of it. So the more attack side rounds they're able to get, the better things are going to be for them in the future. Especially considering how the attacks fell flat regularly on Haven for DRX. Trailblazer checking forward, blind spray through, and okay, RB with the covering fire is the one who gets that shot. Looked like Mako might have gotten the luckiest spray of his life, but not quite. Pop flash out, Buzz.
Wow.
The wall is up, it's working against him. And now the trap wire is right in front of him.
Oh, no.
Mako having this wall raised. Stops Buzz from being able to get the catch there, but he can still catch them on the rotate. The spike now dropped in.
Down A.
Another trap, another blast pack. Looking to try to get the catch. The pop flash through. He's just spraying like a madman, and somehow he comes up with it. RB in the meantime catches Xpharaoh. And suddenly, Elmi Moore, they know exactly where he's at. He's trapped himself into the A site. And Mako is there on the lurk. Fantastic adjustment, and while it went from Mako baiting Stacks into dying and Buzz not being able to trading, Buzz was able to salvage it, but barely so with those 2 kills.
It still is a deep position that RRQ would not have been aware of. And that is, in fact, an advantage that DRX has. Sometimes, seemingly, Almimor managed to sneak in, but at the same time, Buzz knowing to go wrapping around behind that. We're starting to see how DRX adapts to this play from RRQ by defending mid. We have these walls of smokes. And at the same time, Phantoms that really spray through. You're able to take down a couple of players from RRQ.
They read Mako's position this time. He's changing it up. Getting tucked in behind mid box, but okay, we'll go ahead and shift away.
Mako and RB.
Bite down. Foxy. Okay, this time does get the shot. Sparrow gone, and
There goes their smokes.
yep. That single controller. All smokes now taken away from you. Spike will get scooped up here by Emin.
This is going to be a big problem for RRQ. The only way to take a site now is to go explosively. And off of that, you know the retake will be hunting you down. Elmimor is able to take one, but look at how Mako comes up.
Okay, yeah, a bit
So
whippy.
fast.
Throws out that neural dub to help the 3 remaining players here for the team. And Mako just skeet shooting, takes out EJ midair. Nicely executed. Mako now just staying tucked away. Put some damage down on the flip shot, but they're still managing to break through. Suddenly we're into a 2v2. Rolling Thunder goes across. That's going to hit Foxy9. Will slow him up in the push. Getting ready to come in. Senses that he might be on that right side. Still stunned up. Now backs away. Plays to the ready. The heels go across. Flip shotter up to 80. The Trailblazer gets the stun. RB's here to cover.
Needs to watch these angles. They hear those sounds. They know where they're coming from.
Attempted the concuss. Not going to hit anybody. Another fault line available. Jumps up over the top of it, but it still gets the stun. Now RB, the 1v1. He's got the headshot. Plenty of time left on the defuse. He can recover the operator as well. And that's going to be DRX stretching the lead now 5-3, but RRQ are making them fight tooth and nail for every single round win.
Always so clutch.
No, stand like this, bro. Nice guy.
Even at times with Foxy9 there to support him, RB will be able to find those 2 remaining frags. A bit of an attempt from RRQ, but like we mentioned, it's DRX already adapting to this, and they put up a big wall up by middle, so RRQ has to find a different solution now. They have to watch out for this operator at the same time, and that is so daunting, given that they don't have the buy this round.
Okay, there's the flash, there's the attempt at the entry, the Nebula comes up, and Foxy just pushes right through. Catching them off guard. Now goes over to the shorty. Meanwhile, RB will get stunned up. Elmimor able to find the kill, but not before they lose out on Emin. Mako dropping down off Heaven. Gets him, and Foxy re-aggresses out of the smoke once more. A very swift round, a suddenly flip shot as the last man standing. It's not been very long. Foxy seems like maybe finally getting heated up after a slog of a beginning here to split after a pretty catastrophic Haven. Starting to find some regular impact. Just doubled his kills in that last round. Now 6-3.
Oh boy, and this stadium erupts in applause as well. 6-3, DRX. With these different approaches, I mean, the poison cloud up by mid, now they're swapping around again. We have RB still ever so present with the stars. RRQ needs a different approach. These rushes clearly don't work against DRX. The slow advances are starting to wither. Foxy9 has to be disabled.
Oh, dear God. I mean, has he lost him?
What?
He somehow did, but he manages to catch Foxy9 as well. One of the wildest, most absolutely sloppy entries that we've seen. People just jumping over top of one or the other. But EJ, he breaks open the site, he gets him the plant, and he keeps RRQ very much in this round.
Was he floating downwards with a shorty? Now the retake coming in. DRX seemingly blocked off. The Nebula, the sprays, and then the Seekers. Surely Heaven and just waiting for this smoke to dissipate will allow them to walk through. But a man stops them in their tracks.
Mako dead, Buzz trying to push out, but Emin is perfectly prepared for it. Had set up that flash, and there you go. A flawless here. RRQ keeping themselves in this half.
Just by a bit. I have to see this.
I mean, I think it took him a second to maybe notice Foxy 9's feet, but then the turnaround saw him and was able to steady that aim.
Oh my
Unreal
goodness.
scenes.
Nice entry, Jay. Nice one, Jay.
And this is something that we need from these RRQ players too. I mean, EJ, we know he can be explosive, but on the flip side of that, man, as soon as the spike gets planted, you have to seize that initiative. Don't allow DRX to come in with the retake that they're looking for.
I mean, look at this.
Back to a quick push.
It's a great read, and Stax whipping the point-blank shorty shots. It's Buzz now in danger. Tries to blast pack forward, but he's gone too far. Pharaoh takes him down. Mako snaps over, finds Elmi more, but the plant's still going to be coming through a 3v3 with Foxy 9 still holding on to this operator for the attempt at the retake. Could push into heaven, pick up a rifle if he wants to.
Blocking vision.
Held up by elbow, a bit of a crossfire.
Do they
Tough.
read this? Oh, they do. Put some damage down, and RB, frankly, somewhat lucky to come away with the kill, but now Flipshider finds them both. It's all on Mako, and he can't get it done. The man will be standing at the end of it all. It's now 6-5, and Quack, we might be looking at another 6-6 half if RRQ keep this up.
What is happening? Am I dreaming? First of all, Stax whiffing the shorty? It's not something that happens every day. At the same time, off the numbers advantage, RRQ just playing off of each other with the perfect straights, every shot hitting. Down to the last one, Mako unable to clutch despite the right reads from DRX.
And now look at the buy. A stinger for Foxy. Doesn't have the blades for 2 more charges. And EJ says, screw it, this has been working. I'm just going to roll my way into A.
Look at the
In the
spike
meantime,
though.
yeah, Spike being crawled over towards B. So far, RB hasn't bit on the bait yet.
But if he takes this one, that would be tremendous.
Blocking vision.
Fake. Okay, catches one. Spike now noted. But does he realize that Elmi Moore is this far forward? Notices him now, and he manages to find the kill. What? A weapon upgrade for RB. Still relatively healthy. Moves up into the smoke, but he is not prepared for this one at all. Flips catching a glimpse. Takes him down to the flank. Now EJ trying his damnedest with a shorty. And Evan on the flank out of stairs will get it done. The final 2 gunned down, and it's 6-6 on the half once more.
What on earth was that? Since when did he get there? And at the same time, RRQ, you have to respect how strong RB was, how hard he tried, even taking down Elmi Moore despite not really seeing it in the first spot. But then moving over onto Garage, and it's just RRQ surrounding them completely in spots that DRX doesn't expect. 6-6 again.
What wild scenes we are witnessing now. A minute and a half for both sides to collect themselves, probably for RRQ to calm down and get ready to go in this and try to seal the deal. For DRX, this to get themselves perked up and focused, because right now, that is not what we are seeing. Players that we have come to expect so much from in the past, stumbling now against RRQ.
And you just have to think about it again. It's these problems being met with solutions from RRQ. We start off with microaggressions, tiny bits of space being taken, especially up on the A side, especially towards middle. DRX blocks it, no problem. All right, let's try out B. B doesn't work because of RB or maybe even Foxy 9 being present. Let's head back towards A, and they just rush into the site freely just because of EJ and a man. And then on the flip side of that, we have Elmi Moore and crazy lurks at times. DRX actually look like they're trying to catch up to these at times. Of course, we're gonna swap sides now as we move to the second half, and then DRX goes on the attack. This has to be the reason why they picked a double duelist composition.
High expectations at this point. And for DRX, need to go 4-0 in pistols in this series if they want to be able to get themselves back into a winnable position and extend this all the way into a third and final map. But even with closing out all these pistols, it has not stopped RRQ from playing them so very closely. I mean, you think about it, on Haven, they won the pistol, they won the anti-eco, and then they won nothing else in the second half. That was also the attacking side.
Always with the pattern still, yes. We watch, and RRQ recovers mad respect to Coach Ewok and the work he's done. When we were talking about the language barrier, but now it's seemingly gone. DRX trying to approach this, but look at instant Nebula up just to block off Barrage. DRX is deterred from pushing this even further.
Fully just sat back. We'll rotate away. Flipshider shifting his attention back over towards mid, it would seem. Sparrow still holding close.
Oh,
And okay, a couple taps
Gotta
from
back
the
up.
Ghost of RB will put him down at 37 health. And then, worth noting, not having the healing here, obviously in the pistol round. Fairly unorthodox to see a Sky take that.
Okay. Take a look at the mini-map. First of all, long rotation. RRQ not really catching on to this. They see that mid is clear, so surely someone starts to make a move. You have 4 frenzies being held on by these players.
That guy
And they're
likes to tell
so
them
far
everything.
behind.
Yeah, the rotations can now
Hawk out.
roughly begin, at least with the man starting to make his way over towards A. Sparrow following suit, just leaving Flipshider by
Tripwire.
himself.
Go get him.
There's a double tripwire setup. Somebody got tagged here. Foxy9 into the smoke, able to find one, and yeah, it was him actually.
30
There's
seconds
Emmet
left.
just kind of running, gunning, managing to find that spray down there on a Mako. They know that he's in back sight. Foxy will be able to find the second kill. The pursuit now coming through, but Sun is in. Foxy caught trying to remove the dart.
What?
Now Buzz taking down the push coming in. Nick Sparrow
Spike down.
somehow gets the reload,
Player
the kill.
standing.
10 seconds remaining, and Nick Sparrow gets the 4.
DRX, despite just coming in together as a team to surround the entire site. One guy, one gun, one magazine. He turns it all around.
I mean, out of their seats, understandably. Now in pole position to completely take this map, this series by the horns. Far cry hope of DRX being able to pull off a thrifty here versus the firepower, versus the way that RRQ are playing here today.
Very slow,
It's a
very
stop.
controlled.
Pulling them
RRQ
in.
bought up the Bulldogs and a Phantom on Next Pharaoh's hands. He has to hold on to this thing.
It's DRX pushing forward, trying to get that ult over cross. I believe Stack's the one to grab it. In the meantime, hovering around in mid. DJ advance with the Spectre in hand, still holds all of the util. Boombot at any moment now.
Guiding Light's gonna refresh.
Yep.
Information. EJ.
They're just not paying attention to it. Emmet just
Spike down
managing to
mid.
find 2.
Hawk out.
And now they're set up for this flawless anti-eco.
No utility needed, Achilles. The spike is down mid.
But I mean, at some point they have to just try to rush them here. Mako, I mean, he'll push up, he'll get one, but the nade from behind and
30
below
seconds left.
takes him down. A couple shots across the blind onto RB. 2 players weakened for him to try to deal with. Continues to swing out. I mean, that's a great headshot. Tries to get the grab set up here.
I have
And
this.
grabs the gun and starts rotating to A. And now you start wondering, RB,
Do you have time?
can he do it?
Seconds left.
He's got time. He's got to go now.
Ooh.
Cam spots him.
Oh, he's gonna have a whole army rushing down onto him.
And
has
he's
been
just
stunned.
still darted. He's still darted.
Whoa!
Spots one. Oh, realizes that he's close and can't quite adjust. Flipshider at 20 HP, barely gets away with that. The Bulldog and the Phantom recovered. Good damage dealt, but RRQ still maintain the lead, now up 8-6.
Good little take, but wow. The almost clutch from RB,
Guys, I'm
and
gonna go around
they
CT,
still
guys.
show
Nice one,
just a tactical genius and mechanics that it takes to perform at this level. Despite that, still the numbers from RRQ will prevail, and it just shows once more. Slight differences now in RRQ's tactics. They've
to
bought up
explode.
different weapons, sure. DRX with the full buy.
And they need to find a win here. Otherwise, RRQ will be finding themselves up to 10-round wins. They're playing off the quick flash there, Flipshider.
It's classic setup up by mid from RRQ, though. They don't have to move. They have the guiding light just to check for information. What I'm curious about is Xpharaoh right here. Oh!
Ready for it. Xpero has been
Unbelievable.
so incredible today. RB, after his heroics in the previous round, just not quite ready for him to be that far forward. There was just one off that Cosmic Divide. It could be ever so important if the DRX are able to get the spike planted.
Now you have one sole controller, and of course DRX has to kind of exploit this A site. They move in though. Elmimore has traps set up everywhere. At the same time, Flips is just on the site itself.
Spotting him. Got the cross. Foxy caught up in the trap wire for a brief little moment. The entry down. Buzz finding one. Swings on the corner. The instant headshot. EJ taken out. Flip shot and displaced from the back side. 4 members strong versus 2 remaining. Phantom and a Bulldog here.
Spike planted.
Xpero and Emin look to pull off this retake, or at least inflict some more damage. Foxy crosses.
Toxins going up. One enemy
Across the
remaining.
screen. Mako with the lurk up ramp. Finds him. And leaves Xpero all on his lonesome.
Possibly going for exit
Obscuring
frags.
vision.
Again, any kills found would be valuable. It's unlikely that DRX will give him the opportunity.
Yeah, not so much. We're trying to get a little bit more information. Mako holding the angle.
Almost
Trying to
gets
go
him.
for
But
the
they all
spray.
barely escape. He's gonna. I mean, he could swing out and try to catch him here. Ramp.
He kind of has to.
Shots flying. He's looking for one. Can't quite get it done. Zach's will get the headshot as Foxy falls to 8 HP. And DRX somewhat comfortably take that round. Just 1 casualty.
Keeping the economy healthy.
Yeah, you can follow them.
And
You can follow them.
it just shows DRX still. I mean, this is not by any means missed shots or anything like that. Sometimes it just is RRQ actually playing the better game today, but when it comes down to it, and DRX really wants it, Buzz can go in for heads-up duels, and he finds 2 quick and easy just to open up the A site.
You
Now
are
full buys on
divided.
both sides. A Cosmic Divide being invested in the round.
Right off the rip. No fakes or anything like that, but Elmimore is out here back sight, but as he tries to go for the cage pop, Foxy 9 identifies his position, takes him down, and will this time be able to actually safely remove the dart.
Spike planted.
Cards being pulled out of DRX's sleeves now. The Cosmic Divide execute.
They don't have ramp control
Setting
though.
up around it.
got your trail.
They're widely all here into the site. Okay, Seeker now revealing that somebody's gotten forward here. Mako will find one.
RV.
Stays tucked into the corner, but should know that he's here.
Here.
Toxin's running low, the wall going to fall. It seems like the call is going to have to be made, though, to save on the side of RRQ.
Right.
DRX will bring it now 8-8.
Playing that long game. But still, I mean, what a take from DRX. Nothing wasted. Everything optimized. All efficient. Down to Mako's little toxic screen, which gives him that corner to hide in. Completely blocking off screens, heaven. Just to take it down. I mean, Elmimore was stunned. I mean, not literally, but not quite able to react in the way that he wanted.
Still, though, they managed to tie it up, but 2 ults expended. They hold on to their weapons. RRQ not in the most comfortable position, but a couple rifles here, a Sheriff and a Singer.
I want
See what they can get done, but they don't want to let DRX get too far ahead. Dropping this round wouldn't be the worst scenario, but you open the door for DRX. We've seen it time and time again. They can go ahead and absolutely kick it down.
Yeah, it's the same door too. RRQ having the same formation mid, I think, is slowly starting to get figured out. And Xpero, the only one on the B site, has 1 star between him and the entire squad of DRX.
Now a 2nd star.
Okay.
Throws out 1. Foxy over the top, clearing. Not able to find 1. Gets a 2nd. What? Not able to stabilize their aim, but Stacks starting to roar back. RB as well. Catching EJ, the plant coming through. Flipshider, he's going to try to push through this one, but with the vulnerable, it's made all too easy for Mako. Some heals across to just keep RB back up to full health. Elmimore with the Sheriff. It'd be absolute pure heroics from him. Camera gets broken. Grab a Vandal.
The star.
But the timing on the swing, ooh, narrowly missed. But Mako catches a glimpse, takes him down. The 2 members lost, but plenty of money in their pockets. DRX go ahead and they retake a lead.
Meanwhile, RRQ's economy, not the greatest, especially on Xpero's side. He's got a lot of stars to buy up, but
My ult's ready.
in this round, I mean, talking about paper-thin margins, we start things off with a man actually finding some good frags, but then the rest of the squad pushing outside of the smoke set up by RB. You just have to land those shots, and it was really difficult to do that given the scenarios, and having no flashes to support such a push. The retake was not meant to be in that round. RRQ now trying to call the timeout. Let's see what Ewok has to say.
That's the second timeout now burned from RRQ. So better hope that riding forward into this next round, they're able to find a win, break this momentum away from DRX, who have since strung together 3 consecutive rounds. If that's not the case, I highly doubt that Termi is going to give you the opportunity to discuss once more with your team.
It's not even really needed. If anything, I think, how do you play against this? DRX, we got that same Viper wall every round. It's always used in ways that you would not expect. Just great cosplay.
I think that might be a first for us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall seeing any cosplay so far. But hey, you're in Korea, you gotta go for the jet.
You gotta go for the jet. Still.
Sorry, did I say this round? I meant the next round. It's the one that they really need to win. I mean, if they get this one, hey, that's great. But once the full buy comes back there, that of course is going to be of the utmost importance.
How do you switch up your position? You're starting to stack up on the A side. We still have a man just kind of positioned up by B Heaven. Can get information towards middle if anything, but DRX just a little bit of an explosion.
This fault line
That could be
everything. Stacks pulls back, Mako untouched, swings on the corner, and he somehow gets that second headshot onto Elmimore. Oh, that is just unfortunate, but also disgusting.
There's just a magnet onto the second player's head there, so
You know, sometimes precision gunplay just works to your advantage.
no, matters a lot.
Whoops, okay. Good swing to get the punish. The Buzz
Second.
running up on him. Finds that kill. Now it's just going to be Xpero tucked away. The close corner. Noted. Stun comes across. Buzz has the kill. That is Emin now. Push out, gets the flash with Foxy. Saw enough to go ahead and find that frag at the end. And now the buy can come back through for RRQ, where they desperately need to try to turn the tides of this.
Still an interesting approach, if anything. It does kind of give you the idea that RRQ are trying to set up some proactive play, some microaggressions as they push out of defensive positions. Something that they could explore, but you don't have the round lead any longer. We don't have the economy. It starts to really add up. And you have to consider if you want to go for these risks or not. So we're trying to switch up some positions. Still is a man up by Heaven, but now I'm trying to support it with EJ. DRX. Just going straight to garage.
Yep, slow and steady inch up, but I mean, 4 members strong on this side of the map. It's Pharaoh as well. Having that ult ready, but they look at the bust this one open. The showstopper goes out, finds the kill, and that's now going to be taken down. But EJ just swing out, finds one. The showstopper from himself as well. Now finding Stacks. Mako cut down. Buzz and RB, the last 2 standing. They find one apiece, but now RB going to be taken down. Leaving Buzz in yet another clutch situation, and as he tries to drift over, seeing that hat come flying across like he was fighting Oddjob and GoldenEye, he gets picked from the side, and Flipside takes him down.
Just one precise shot, and we'll turn things around. I mean, RRQ starting to find a different way to actually just maybe play that retake scheme. Maybe play the game where you deny the spike plant. But this is one where it's incredibly reactionary. And it's highly contingent on timing and timing alone. You have to push in at the right spots, the right moments. And it's really tough to do it if DRX goes in for some kind of a delayed play. So coming on to the future rounds, don't know if it's going to happen the same way again.
Just one more to go to tie it up once more. Boombot in the mail, not going to spot anything, will expire by the time he gets up into heaven.
You can see a ping out towards ramp, considering the fact that it might be some kind of an A push. But DRX are just positioned up towards middle. RRQ not pushing out, not really getting too curious or anything. Boombot to check mail. That confirms it.
Presence still found.
There.
It's a 3-2 split. How do they get Emin out of this position? Trailblazer to check first. Buzz backs away, clears it. I don't believe stacks would have been noted here. Oh, that one tap into the paint shells. That'll force him out, and Buzz swinging the corner finds Xfaro. Foxy 9 in the meantime does get taken down, but RB now joining in. Finds EJ. Seekers coming through. Will get broken down rather swiftly. Rolling Thunder at the ready. Flipshider waits for the tap, sends it as they look to flush the site. Flash is now flying, 4 members strong. The Trailblazer noted the back site. Buzz swings out, finds one. How many more? Taken down. Suddenly it's all on Flipshider as the plant comes through once again.
Spike
Nade
planted.
out to check the back pillar, but nothing to be found. Flips knows exactly where Stacks is at, but he can do absolutely nothing about it. And instead, has to just hightail it away. I mean, surely.
No.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, Rolling Thunder was a bit of a good idea,
Right there.
but that said, still one that DRX knows how to work around. Just simply walk back towards backside garage, hold your ground. And RRQ's retake was not meant to be. DRX a little bit more coordinated, a little bit
They
more
want to hunt him so badly.
grouped up together. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just stare at the screen.
Stacks is 1 point away from the ultimate, so I guess why not?
To get it. 50 creds remaining. They're still pushing out. Okay, well, Flips will find the elimination, and Buzz tries to go for the spray through, but can't quite make it happen.
Not the wall bang, but yeah. Like I said, you know, the delayed push from DRX is something that can work out really well against RQ's retakes. The way that you actually just take out B Heaven instead, knowing that a man is always up by mailroom, up by stairs, in fact, as he falls back. Down to it, when you have RB with a delayed push, I think, if anything, RQ were kind of positioning for a B-split push with Xfaro down the off angle, but it's not going to happen if a delayed push comes in. So now, half buys, this is likely going to be match point.
Oh, I hit him for 51 at the very end there. Push coming through, Buzz through the screen, able to snap onto the second. And just like that, the site broken open. DRX looking a bit more like their old selves, and Buzz, what is that drawdown? From planting on the spike to instantly taking Flipshider out. Now DRX one round away from taking us to Pearl.
1 round away. We have 4 ultimates at the same time. And we just know that DRX are going to look to close this out as quickly as possible. RRQ, they might be able to buy back. They might be able to try to fight back. But who knows if it's actually going to go into overtime. It's not the most likely, I'm going to tell you that. Operator being bought out by Xfaro.
Tries damnedest to get a pick, and he's in a good position for it. I don't think they have the read necessarily. What? They do not. Foxy swings right into him, and Xfaro says thank you very much. A much-needed reprieve here for RRQ. Even though Foxy hasn't been the cleanest on these entries, he's at least gaining information when he does go for them.
Same thing from a man. Stacks has Seekers.
Flashes out. Stacks caught out. Buzz swings in, and Ahmed says thank you very much. It seems like RRQ are not done yet.
Just getting the sudden push out thanks to support from Flips.
I mean, Flips reading this quite well, but it's not quite the Caterpillar, but it's pretty damn close. Flash into the smoke, and oh, the man is so good with it. Third kill for him. 2 off having that next Seeker's ult that could be so impactful going into the future rounds.
Flush him out of position. K-Shell's back in. Mako is alone. Everyone has their sights trained onto this one spot.
At this point, kind of surprised to just not see Mako going for the full save. Just desperately wants to get some kind of gun out of their hands. Yeah, okay, yep. But you have to know, any corner you swing, you're dead. Okay, well, there's
10
one.
seconds left.
Oh, okay. Doesn't make it out of there. The flip shutter will go ahead and find another elimination. RRQ 2 away from taking it to overtime. The cash very much flush with it for DRX, and they're going to go ahead and call a timeout. Termi wanting to end this map at long last.
Blinded. Buried.
That's it.
I don't know if you can actually predict that much, but when it comes down to it, again, still,
Remaining.
DRX has
10
that many
seconds
ultimates.
left.
They have the set plays. We know this is what DRX does. Question is, in this timeout, although Termi can make these calls, Ewok could say something as well, and I don't know if they're able to actually predict how DRX will use their ultimates, how DRX will come in with a side take. Could RRQ find another retake just to bring them closer to overtime?
And they absolutely could. You think back to DRX versus Global, how many match points they had on split before they were finally able to close it out. I think Global at the end of it only had 2 chances. At DRX consistently, every time they got to 12, every time they got to 13, 14, etc. As we kept resetting, going deeper, they really struggled to finally put an end to that map.
It could happen.
Get kicked back here by RQ. They take it to 1 round away. It absolutely could happen yet again.
That's the thing, you gotta believe, but in all of these moments, I think Buzz and Mako have been the most consistent, especially on this map. Meanwhile, on the other side of RRQ, it actually looks like the thing that they want to disable, the player they want to disable is a man, because he's been on point.
Yeah.
Now he's on to A site.
After Elminor's big hot start, it's definitely been overtaken by a man who's just started to run away with the half.
I don't know about this position, Achilles. Elmimor alone on B, Xpharaoh on top of B Heaven. You don't have that much information, and except for this camera, which is just a very tiny sliver. Man's all the way on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, Seeker's into
I've
a
got your
showstopper.
trail.
Could be everything here. There it is. That's the combo. The jump in, and Buzz, well, he might kill himself, but he does manage to find Elmimor at the same time. This should help the rest of the team get into a position where they can drop this pit. Mako now moving forward. Stack's taking some shots so far. The hit not coming in. Mako holding it, waits. And now goes ahead, slaps the poison gas on the floor. Foxy9, however, taken down. EJ with the spray, finds the headshot. Look for a little bit more. Mako around the backside. One of the bites now going to be let loose. Cosmic Divide out from Xpharaoh. Flip shutter spraying, desperately trying to fish for something. And Mako swings out, finds one. It's EJ gone. RB still disconnected here from the rest of the team. The push in, Mako gets the man. The spray from Flip Shutter will drop the pit, but now he's all on his lonesome. The 1v2. The wrap around. Stacks getting himself up into heaven. He's running out of time. Flip Shutter has to stay stuck to this one. The swing out is there. RB will find
Minimal exposure just to take players out. And he did that against Gen G, a team that we believe to be the second best in Pacific.
Well, aside from the win over Talon, DRX have always had pretty dominant showings here on Pearl. Take a look back. I mean, you think about Lock-In, them versus, BBL, Cloud9, etc. They've never given up more than 5 rounds except to Talon, but RRQ, given the way that they are performing today, fully expecting them to be able to push this to the limit, if not win the map itself. See how they fare, though, with 2GE back into the mix.
That's right. Even with confidence, RRQ actually push out of mid. They're getting so much information off of this. Not sure how A main looks to them, but surely on towards B.
Okay,
The turret
placed
says
behind,
something.
yep. Shows contact. Not sure if that's necessarily going to be in, top mid, or if it's going to be coming out of A main. Either way, they're going to be expecting some kind of flank. Wall going to be raised up by 2GE. He looks to hold them off.
Stars
Will give DRX some pause. They actually decide to go ahead and pull back away. Trailblazer jumping in, does get the stun out onto Foxy. That's 2GE deciding which weapon he wants to go for here.
For long range, we'd have to go for that classic, but that depends on whether or not DRX still commits to this B site. Elmimor needing that mid presence just to ensure no flanks come out from connector.
Mako just
30
clearing the
seconds
turret.
left.
Another wall now being raised up here by RB. Back over onto the side. Foxy9
2G.
dashing forward. Doesn't go for Halls quite yet. Might anticipate that somebody could have a shorty in this position, but Elmi Moore, playing out of Link, manages to find Buzz. Mako a little bit late on that wraparound to try to find the punish. In the meantime, the spike does get planted. The site widely developed here by RRQ. Stacks finding one. 2GE with some spray out. Trying to answer something back. RB now going for the reload. The push comes in from one side. RB takes out 2GE, has to reload yet again. Jay finds that kill, but Stacks gets himself a second, but the defuse, it comes through, and RRQ steal the round away.
Just absolutely strong showing. RRQ
Here.
able to come in at the last moment. And still, you have to wonder, I mean,
I'm with you in Hall.
we're looking at statistics of how RRQ has performed on Pearl. Their defensive side is the one that matters most. They actually did a little bit better on this side against, well, DFM. That was the last time that they played Pearl.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we've only seen it twice.
Yeah.
So,
Meanwhile, for DRX, they've just been good throughout every set that they play on this map. So, despite that first loss, I'm expecting a lot more still. The Cascade being sent out now just to push along with it. It's classic DRX play.
very aggressive triple push out of A, but now they get the sense that, yeah, this is in fact going to be a hit onto the B site. Hole completely left open. That's going to give some semblance of site control here to DRX. Elmi Moore trying to set up for that Nano Swarm, and it manages to land right at RB's feet, knocking him down to 24 HP. EJ for the entry, catching Foxy9 during the reload. Finds the headshot, gets the kill. Now they're in onto the spike once more. Mako, one fight remaining as he's set up. It's back and Stacks somehow spamming away through this nebula. Finds some eliminations. 2 kills picked up, the covering fire. The Nano Swarm gets the kill. Now they look to just hold this off. Flipsider so very low, and Mako will be the one to finish the job. And after a great start, RQ stealing the round away, DRX answer back, pulling off an eco win.
I mean, just the entire side of B long engulfed in a sea of green and purple. Somehow, Stacks' bullets still find enemies to hit, still find targets to hit. And in that, like, numbers were taken away. DRX, all they had to do was to hang back and hold up. They had the ghost, they had the range. RQ couldn't quite take them out despite the buy. So, now, economy flourishing on DRX.
As the pendulum swings. How many more flip shatter than the two that opt to go for the sheriffs here? Some hefty presence and spray into a main from DRX. Or going to be grabbed it by RB, and that does give him the ult now. Reckoning available. Mako lurking back over towards B. We'll find a nice little pickup, and that's one of the sheriffs now stranded.
That's such a difference. The map's a lot bigger now, and RQ has that much more space to explore, but at the same time, DRX can post themselves up. Mako has to flank guard. Taking down one player means the defense has been softened, and they can just overwhelm 2GE. Get the spike down. Just have a good day.
Hawk out.
Flash in, goes behind 2GE, so not going to be too blinded up. Put some damage down, but will eventually fall as Stacks collects his 5th kill of the map. Kills coming across Xfero, getting tucked just on the opposite side of our somewhat default
30
plant
seconds
spot.
left.
Do they get a sense of this? Oh no, Flipshutter actually swinging out, finds one. Stacks eventually does manage to flush through, finds him. EJ with the classic, finishes the job. So now 30 health remaining. Knocked down even lower. Get flushed out by a nicely placed bite. Mako be able to finish it. So 3 weapons going to be retained. All of the phantoms recollected here. DRX now move up 2-1.
And they still got to buy up given how they won the second round, so not too big a deal. Still impressive from how RRQ was actually able to hold the site, but this is the classic DRX take. We have that cascade up, we push in, and then we're looking for a spot to plant in. The default was clearly blocked off by Xfero in that moment, and I think that's something I'm curious to see if he'll try and attempt again, just to deny spike plants. But now, aggressive take from RRQ. Elmi Moore, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of damage, but certainly not ideal just to be able to get the turret set up.
They do fall back, and now they have that position in place, a presence in place. DRX, they could go back to aggress onto this, but at the same time, RRQ pushing on opposite end. EJ getting a little bit more information. DRX are clearly just holding this default and trying to punish any potential mistakes RRQ might make. But so far, not too hefty.
Flash over the top. Comes up from Better trying to spot him. And oh man, Elmymore with a great headshot. Since they find nothing, they start to rotate now over to be Seekers as well as the Reckoning going to be thrown in. Elmymore spamming out back hall. Still low on HP. 2G forced off the angle. Elmymore. Oh, he's just sprinting across! But how does he get those kills? RB and Stacks left dead on the ground. The spike stranded.
Finished.
Buzz
Calling my bot.
on the flank, managing to find one. But Elmymore with some of the most unbelievable spray that I've
30
seen.
seconds left.
He just got them right back into this round. Buzz and Mako, two clutch players in their own right, now needing to try to close this out. A 2v4.
Placing swarm grenade.
Nano across, Flip Cutter clears it. Doesn't even have to back away. Buzz goes in, finishes off the low HP member, but now there's just 14 seconds remaining. Mako not going to be able to find the kill. Buzz gets one,
10
grabs the
seconds
spike. Needs to try to go for the plant, the swing out, getting ready to come through, and they will cut him down to size. And somehow, some way, RRQ pick up the round.
Make sure to follow my
Achilleos, you asked for it. You wanted good Valorant. This is good Valorant. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how it happens, but precise gunplay. He finds that first shot. Off to the second.
I mean, that is just...
The one on the right is just unbelievable. I don't know if it's luck or...
That's just like Stacks getting punished by his opponent's movement. The shot goes so far to the right.
It's like tiny bits of... it looked like movement error, right? But still, an incredible shot nonetheless. Now RQ getting the confidence to push out again. DRX hears the footsteps and they completely back off.
I mean, if there's one way to tilt the hell out of DRX, it's winning a round like that. That being said, though, funny, still good going into this round.
We still have our ultimates to work with as well. On RQ's side, Elmymore looking for the same angle, just tapping away into this. DRX has managed to sneak past, and this means they could potentially push up, just take a bit more space on towards B. Maybe a B split push. They can take flips.
I like this unorthodox placement of that Nano Swarm actually right into the cubby. Looks like it does get spotted though, obviously, increased reveal range now. Lockdown going to be used as Flip tries to hold the door. Finds one, Buzz answering back to get the other. Lockdown used over towards Link, and that's going to force them out of the sight. And looks like, yeah, everybody will just about be able to exit to safety.
Good bit of pressure. EJ on the other side of A main. You have 30 seconds left. What I'm curious about is if they actually push in through Arts, can EJ do anything? Will we have rotations from Elmymore to catch them by timing? Maybe not so much.
You'll hear the footsteps. I believe he just got into the draw distance, so now the rest of the team going to be very privy to this. EJ trying to see if there's going to be anybody split away. Should get a sense that this is the full 4 players here onto the site. The updrafts available. Oh, the Cope, he's got to rush into it. And he's not quite going to be able to interrupt it in RB. Oh no, he draws down an EJ. He lets the kill slip right out from beneath his fingers. 2G now having to try to breach this position. Everybody stacked up here on Secret. Foxy9 good for the headshot, and what looked like a very winnable round is now just drifted away. There's nothing more that Elmymore can do.
Has to save. Oh my god. The stars aligned. Everything was in place, but just by sheer, I don't know, timing or a tiny bit of movement coming out from DRX, that kill was not meant to be.
A little bit sooner, getting the elimination. That spike doesn't go down. DRX would have been left in a scramble with so few seconds remaining in the round, but EJ letting the pressure get to him a little bit in the moment. He's unable to find it. And that means that DRX now take the lead once more, 3-2.
It's a good attempt from RRQ. We had the lockdown. They had the timing. They knew where DRX were headed towards. Even pushing out from Flower as well, Secret at the right time. It's just, like you talked about it, sometimes it's that pressure. As much as Valorant is, a mechanical game, precise gunplay, sometimes it's mental.
I mean, look, at the same time, you're trying to shoot RB. We've seen it so many times in the past. This guy is just like Neo. He knows how to dodge bullets. His movement, the way that he jumps and twists his body, he just somehow completely avoids them.
Now,
Seems like he can avoid knives just as easily.
Flips. Just trying to find something. All right, they are in pistols. Just a little weapon, anything could be huge for RRQ, but DRX are so disciplined that they're not going to give that up.
And they read this well to avoid the rifle that was retained. Not a purchase hero, but you know the carryover hero. LB Moore. Okay, Mako swings in alongside Buzz and frankly saves his rear. Flip Shider love to try to push that wall and get the pick. Instead, we'll try to move out on this side, but there's a cove that also denies vision. Gets in front of the high tide. Continues on the push. Not watching for it yet, but now the crossfire comes in. Stacks peels for Foxy. Mako in the meantime. He's out of here in mid, and they have the turn to play contact. So unfortunately for Xparrow, even that timing that looks so good ends up getting upset. LB Moore finding two, tries to stabilize for the third. Not the beat. DRX now 4-2.
We've seen that lineup from Mako before, and this is when DRX really just doesn't want to let anything up. Not even going on the aggressive just because RRQ are in an eco. That's the respect that's being paid to both teams right now. Seeing as it comes down to it, though, still, LB Moore made it close. I mean, this guy has been popping off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, frankly, even in a loss, LB Moore, MVP candidate.
Yes, yes.
It's been a bit of a monster here. Now, timeout obviously called. RRQ not wanting this to slip away. They know what DRX can do, what they have done on this map in the past when they start getting a lead. Like I said, only Talon have been able to take more than 5 rounds off of DRX on the opposing side of this map that I can think of, at least in recent history.
In recent years, for sure. I mean, if you remember how they actually did it, of course, you know, we're talking about Talon, the team in 9th place in our Pacific standings, but they were really trying in that map. They actually figured out a way to, we'll allow DRX to take B. What we're going to do instead is to wrap them around from behind, all the way from the back of B long. And although DRX tried to stick them to themselves in that firefight, they weren't able to hold it off against Talon's firepower. And that could be something that RRQ could try, but this is a very different composition.
I want to clarify my statement so people don't call me an idiot. Aside from the losses, it's been clean. You know, obviously they dropped it to Cloud9. They dropped it to Loud. I misremembered the Cloud9 one. I will admit that. They got bodied on that map, and then they fired back. But in their wins, other than Talon, they have not given over more than 5.
Yeah. Regardless of the specifics, I mean, DRX still definitely, without a doubt, incredibly strong showings all around. And now, just quickly in towards the A site.
So blind, but Helmy Moore with the covering fire. Saves him, and Flipshiner actually not even taking too much damage, but Buzz does find the punish. Sight opened up, and Stacks catching Xparrow. Well, they go ahead, avoid these Reckoning stuns coming out. Buzz backing off of Art. Flipshiner goes sniffing forward, trying to catch him on this flank. He knows he's in this position, but Buzz, he's setting up for some lineups.
Yes,
not just Mako can do this. I've got it too.
Swarm grenade out. Here.
All right.
Sends the pop. Rotate through. Flipshiner not reading this at all, and now he's going to go for another one. It's not needed, however, because the save call has been sounded. EJ with the operator desperately wants to hold on to this, so RRQ just going to be tucking away over on the B site. DRX going to be stretching the lead now by 3 rounds.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I mean, the reason why, Achilleos, this is such a strong map, a strong showing for DRX, a strong side, is because of this set play. You have what it takes to just take down the A site. Maybe it's just Foxy dashing in. Maybe he doesn't get the most kills. Maybe he doesn't get the first bloods this time around. But he does create that space for his team, and that's what his job is. Now they get the spike down, you have this lineup all the way from mid. Do you realize how much time it takes for RRQ just to deal with that one player? It's so much. It's such a strong strategy.
DRX and lineups. Some might say, oh, lineup Larry. Oh, there's a cringe play. But it gets results, and you can't deny that. Now, though, speaking of some easier lineups, we'll head over towards the B side, where EJ does get stunned by the dog.
Okay.
Dashes to the side, doesn't get hit.
Oh.
Reckoning, though, let loose. RB looking to flush them off the site. Foxy9 into the hall, catching Xpero. Akil found the plant coming through. Spamming desperately, trying to figure out where it is, but the Cove is also there to protect. 2GE falls to the wayside at the same time.
Placing swarm
It's two
grenade.
bubbles just
Swarm grenade
blocking
out.
everything, allowing for the safest plant ever. Despite 2GE and Xfero's efforts, it's just not going to happen. I don't think you can retake these. You're definitely probably going to try with a Sheriff and a Stinger. But,
Well, can't find it there, but Flipshider with the Stinger. It gets the one.
Enemy
There's
remaining.
a chance at a second, but can't make it happen. Once again, EJ is going to have to try to save it. RB, I mean, he wants to get the kill. They want to take this weapon out of his hands and Stack. Suddenly in a position to maybe make it happen. EJ with a good read, however. There's the Cloudburst down. And, okay, Stacks will fall at the same time. So EJ just getting a couple extra charges towards that Blade Storm here.
Let's get
I like
these
that.
idiots.
But he's unable to stop the rounds from continuing to get racked up by DRX.
perhaps not. Still, fun little Cloudburst play just to distract and allow Stacks to think that he was looking the other way. But this is DRX. This is the classic DRX that we've been seeing throughout the entire VCT Pacific, especially on this map. They have those rounds in the lead. They know that RRQ are an ego, and they are confident enough that they just rush in. They have 4 ultimates to work with in this round as well.
I mean, so far, just given the scoreline, gotta say, what a turnaround from Stacks. There are some rough times on Haven as well as Split.
Here.
Very much the one who's rallying back.
Making all the right calls still.
Here.
Now just buying time. RQ all arrived on site.
Got your trail.
Okay, Seekers to go forward. Really clear them out. Foxy dashing in, and oh, he just gets the catch onto EJ. Take it down, looking for a little bit more. The counter Seekers now coming through into the Cove. And one more. Take it down, but not before he finds RB. 2GE now up over the top. Finds the shot into the smoke. Down Stacks. Stuck it back, Halls. He actually gets detained. Uh-oh. Is this a
Enemy
bait?
remaining.
Either way, Flipshider needs to get something done. And Foxy just not getting caught by that one. Finds a third. DRX finds a seventh. The momentum is fully on their side.
Thought it might be a bait. It could have been. But still, I have to say, I mean, with 2G being subbed in now, despite the utility being good, being decent, it does slow DRX's push down outside of B-Long. He always throws that high tide just to cut B-Long in half, slow them down as they push in. The frags haven't been good. DRX always get to overrun B site, always get to overrun halls, whether it's the Reckoning or the Lockdown. Now they're back onto A.
Oh boy, this is going to be a hell of a crunch. Around the back side goes Xpero. And 6 feet under the 3 players of RRQ. Just trying to up the tempo, get a read on the situation, but DRX just better prepared, better equipped.
Yeah. Firepower in their hands.
Spike
DRX
planted.
feeling extremely confident to just go for every duel that they're seeing
Oh,
right now.
the timing! It's a Shakespearean tragedy. As RB on the hunt tries to get the shorty kill on Elmi Moore. Okay. I mean, look, I'm here for it. He's been delivering.
Turret out.
Even so, converting this into a round win. Far cry hope. Nothing else he wants to push. Trying to take some weapons away, but
Oh my
at this
god.
point, there's no real hope of breaking the economy of DRX. It's just too damn strong. 1 HP, and yeah, Foxy barely needs to line it up to be able to finish that one off. 8-2 now in the half with seemingly no end in stop. DRX just plowing on.
That's now 6 rounds in a row for DRX. We talked about it, they're confident even with this push. We thought it was going to be crunch time, but no. Instead, it's going to be soggy cereal because DRX were prepared for this push. They knew exactly how to deal with that. Maybe it's the footsteps that they heard that gave them a tell, but despite that, Elmimore still looking very much alive.
That he is. There's a pulse.
Sometimes
Jay
you need.
up again. All going to be cleared. Starts pushing forward, but Foxy is just watching for it. He says, yeah, I play Jet. I know what you're going to do. And it's the up-team ult here from RB as Foxy. Elmi Moore looking a little bit whippy. Foxy finds the kill. DGE dead. And that leaves just Sparrow with no cash and a Phantom to try to get something done here. Push out of the smoke, and RB says, nah, you're not keeping anything. Nope. 9-2 DRX. They continue to just absolutely beat down RRQ here in this final map.
It looks nigh impossible to stop DRX's attacking side on this map. Again, same classic push. The cascade out, we take a bit of space. Even with EJ trying to disturb them a little, poke at them a little with this operator, it doesn't work.
Here.
Yeah.
Keep up.
I don't know if, about EJ's op on this map at this current moment because of that cascade. It's blocked off so much. Now we're back onto the A site. And RRQ playing a little bit more slow. Xaro trying to push out.
I mean, could just say tucked away. Looks like that's going to be the call. He's got Flip
Get
Cutter
out of my way.
nearby here. Is the flash not going to spot anything? EJ with the updraft. Storm peek through that art window. Also not identifying any targets. So now, blades out the double swing, and it's going to be Foxy who's good for the shot.
I kind of know what that looks like too. Soul player being deleted. It's getting a little bit too antsy. Now the coordination's starting to fall apart for RRQ. DRX on the other hand, everything's online. Every player doing their job, watching all these angles. All we have to do, the same beat execute. Can Elmi Moore actually hold this back? They have some ultimates to work with. RRQ, the lockdown, the Cosmic Divide, maybe a bit of a retake play?
I've got your trail.
Here we go again. The B side take. Sliggy's excited about this one. This Ghost Stream. Seeker's going to be cleared out. Elmi Moore over towards Link. We're going to get rid of those. A lot of vision denied away. Is Foxy going to go pushing through? He catches Sparrow. And now he's trying to rotate out. 3 players detained though on the side of DRX. There's one cleared up. There's the second. Mako providing some covering fire as RB is trying to hide. He's around the backside of holes and somehow he has survived. Now gets the catch on the one. EJ will also fall, and it just felt like that was the best possible opportunity to detain on the 3. And those are the only 2 kills that they're able to get, unfortunately, as RB survives and we get a 10-2 half. DRX clearly woken up after split, during split, I should say. And they are looking to shut RRQ down once and for all.
That's right. Even Foxy's finding kills, Stacks on the top, Buzz doing everything. And in all of these dire situations, when it seems like it's almost a victory for RRQ, Mako comes in. The Viper Spit just to protect his teammates. What a tank. And now 10-2 at the end of the first half. Man, this pistol is, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, even winning it, there's such a staggering run back ahead of you. And if RRQ, look, if they could manage it, it would go down as probably one of the greatest run backs, if not the greatest run back that we have seen. Going from this deficit against a team of DRX's caliber, given what they've been able to achieve against, tougher opponents on the international stage. Yeah, I think you'd have to say that this would be a new record set by RRQ, but it just feels like such a faint thought, a whisper on the wind.
That's right. I don't know if I can hear that, Achilleos. We're just taking a look at statistics again. These might just be numbers. RRQ did have a better half against DFM's attacking side on Pearl, but at the same time, DRX has shown that they are strong on both sides. 60% win rate on the defensive side. Yeah. Now they're going to play that. We saw how Buzz performed last week. We saw how he did against Gen G. The way that he uses his utility just for extra bits of map presence, the way that he falls back bound by bound, leap by leap, it's really difficult for attacking teams to find a little gap.
He slaps again. Saying something about having to go to school tomorrow on the sign. His previous one was saying, if you put us on camera, I'll hit my friend.
Oh.
So, decided to do it again.
Thank you for translating, Achilles. You're all right.
When I can, when it's possible, which is very rarely. But this is everything now for
Better than
RRQ.
what I can do. But yes, everything for RRQ. This pistol round, even if they win it, right? I mean, if they can win it, that's how we start things.
Hawk out.
Push forward. Orb going to be grabbed. Seems like they want to prioritize Flipshot being able to
like
get this Seekers online. Meanwhile, Spike being brought over here towards B. The usual arrangement.
Toxic screen is available. We're not gonna make any noise, but Stacks definitely with a jump peek, probably information gained. It's a bit of a B split setup, but RB's aware of this. So are Stacks and Foxy9.
They make their presence known now. Better having to back away. Foxy9.
Oh no.
Oh, right here on the flank. He is still going to be good for one, but Foxy, he's good for two. If there's anything you can do, I can do better. Gets the 2x. Flip shot it out. 37 health. This is surely the hope dwindling. RB will find Xfaro. They'll go ahead and just spam through the wall. Foxy with 3. DRX now with 11 rounds total. Another pistol round victory collected by them.
Not to mention, I mean, now they get to buy up and seeing as what they might be able to, what they might purchase. This is now potentially match point, a 12-2. If they can end it off 13-2, that would be the fastest, I think, map that we've seen so far. RRQ,
Careful.
I don't know if they still have that fight left in them, but we have to give them that support.
Careful.
Kind of surprised that we don't see the full investment, but it looks like RRQ at the end of the day will be trying to play for the draw so they can get the momentum moving here. Still, though, quite a bit of expenditures here. Only more down to 800.
Firepower on the side, confidence and space. DRX are taking what they can get. RRQ, on the other hand, slowly, surely inching forward, just looking for a tiny win. The alarm bot in their face, though.
Right on the opposite side of that wall, too. And they're not ready for it. Pump flash goes out. RB, okay, well, just spray and pray. Hold it down. Buzz and RB.
Down A.
Picking up 2 apiece. Now be more sat here at A main saying, guys, what in the hell just happened over there? And they have every inclination, every right to expect that he is going to be sat here at A main because they have him completely and utterly surrounded.
Slowly into it, but nah, it's not gonna happen. Still, we're expected to see good Valorant, and we're seeing incredible, perfect Valorant again from DRX. The timeout being called now by RQ. Their one chance to try whatever they might. 2-12. I don't know.
Look, at this point, I think we can kind of move away from the conversation about the run back, the miracle run to get them into OT. If it happens, obviously, minds will be blown. But I think from here, it's about capping off this series in a little bit more of a respectable way. You know, you don't want to go out, as so many teams have previously, where you take a map off of DRX and then you get the ever-loving hell beat out of you in the final map.
Yeah, remember Talon. Still, so far with this defensive side, I mean, DRX are now confident. They know they can take risks. You have to anticipate the fact that they might be able to actually push up, find bits of space. We saw it with the cascades, with the walls. And then RRQ might be caught by surprise. There's so much to consider. Thoughts in their heads. The fan sign still.
I didn't catch it.
I think there's one for RB.
Wow.
But here's one for the desk. I mean, take a look at this scoreline that we've got. How many rounds in a row is that since round 5 for DRX? I'm not even gonna.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Well, okay. It's 10. It's about 8. Yeah.
And now they're looking to finish the job. Another purchase back in the hands of RRQ. The pressure.
Guardian.
They push forward. I mean, surely EJ's not going to be the one to swing out in the lane.
That's an interesting side.
Yeah, I mean, gets a decent amount of cutoff here.
A lane control, we bypass that alarm bot. Surely we know it's there.
RB just backing away. Here's a position over. Buzz letting loose with the Nano Swarms. Just trying to dissuade them from getting their way forward here onto the site. They do make their way in, though. Nope. Shots flying. EJ trying to catch him. Swing onto the corner, and it's going to be RB taking down the enemy jet. 2GE. Tagged up just a bit. Sparrow able to find one.
Look at Flips.
Brings it down to a 4v4, and yeah, as you say, Flipcutter, he's trying to go for this deep flank, but it is only with a Guardian, and they're losing out on a couple extra members. Now Elmy Moore going to be taken down. Buzz here on the corner. Flips able to find one. Foxy swapping over to the Frenzy, going to be good for a kill. The spray down through the orb. Sparrow finds the kill. Pop flash, but it doesn't get the coverage.
Oh, he's
doesn't get the
taking-
blind. It just sat here
No!
into the smoke, and they're just going to hold it for the defuse. Two players.